Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and this week, stop me if you've kind of heard this before. We can grow your firm. We can add $100,000 of revenue to your firm in 6 weeks, or we can make you $1 million firm in 90 days, or whatever. There's this preposterous number, honestly, of these quote unquote marketing gurus out there who promise to get X amount of money for your firm or to grow your firm, to X amount in X amount of time. And, look, I get a lot of them trying to apply to be a guest on Center Stage. Like they've got this revolutionary sales process or this amazing sales system that you can implement to grow your firm 5X in, 3 months or whatever. And I see it all. I look at, the background of these people and all of that. And something doesn't feel right. Like they've got charisma. They believe in what they do. They're passionate about it. But for some reason, I have a hard time getting excited about it. Right. And I think what it is, and I think the reason why I tend to stay away from those kind of people is because of how it's being presented, right? Like it's all about, this is what I did for this business. This is what I did for this business. This is, I have the sales process that can do this for you. Just listen to me. And it's what we talk about a lot in terms of the hero's journey or the storytelling that you're trying to do in marketing, where you do not want to be the hero. Your audience, your client needs to be the hero, and you are the guide showing them, helping them how to get there. And what's funny about this is, and I know that a lot of lawyers, especially, are very discerning people. They tend to do a lot of research. They're not going to just jump up and try to take as many of these get rich quick, grow your firm quick, this revolutionary sales process and all that kind of stuff. They're not going to jump into that very quickly. And yet what I see a lot is lawyers replicating that same approach, right? We got $500,000 for this client. We got $3.2 million for this client. We won $1 million for this client. And so you see the similarities. And that's what so many law firms are doing with their marketing. And look, here's the thing. There's a place for you to brag about what you've won for your clients, but it's also in how you brag, right? It's two very different statements, right? Like, we won $2 million for this client versus this is how we won $2 million for this client. Right? It's going a little bit deeper. It's sharing. And I get that there's attorney-client privilege and confidentiality and all of that. And like, you don't have to get into the details of what you did. You don't have to use names, but when it comes to how you are setting yourself up, how you are establishing your authority and your credibility, if you want to tie in settlement numbers for those of you who get these sorts of things for your clients, it's like, present it in such a way where you're talking about the overall concept, the overall case, whatever the issue is, right? So let's say, for example, we'll use personal injury because that's the easiest. It's, we won $1 million. All right, let's say you won $1 million for your client. And it was a wrongful death suit, right? Rather than just saying we won $1 million in a wrongful death suit for our client, you can spin it and flip it in such a way so that you're saying, this is what happens in a wrongful death suit, right? This is what classifies a wrongful death. Here are some examples that we have seen, that we have taken to court, whatever it is you can say there. This is how it works. You're not talking about a specific client example. Everything is still remaining confidential. And then at the end, you can say, these are the things that have helped us win X number of dollars for our clients. And that is so much more impactful than just saying, we won this money for our clients. Because here's the thing, your audience doesn't particularly care about what you've done in the past, right? It's all about, what can you do for me now? What have you done for me lately? You haven't done anything for your next client yet, right? So showing them what you are, far more than what you're capable of, it's showing them that you understand. Because for all they know, you could have just backed into that victory. Maybe the opposing counsel could have really screwed something up and you just won by default, whatever. But being able to demonstrate the knowledge and show that you have a plan and a system in place for addressing these things, that's what goes a lot further. That's what convinces people so much more that you are fully competent and fully capable of doing what they need help with. And so, kind of going back to these sales gurus, it's ironic, really, because they're so bad at selling themselves, even though they say they have this method that can generate so much income. But if those salespeople, those sales gurus just, switched up their proposition just a little bit and say, this is how I've helped this firm grow by this much. This is how I've done this. This is how, not I can do this, right? You can, so like, it's fairly nuanced, but it makes a huge difference. It really makes a huge difference. And so when thinking about how you're positioning yourself, and especially if you're in a practice area where, case results are very important to you, by all means, continue to use that, but reframe it in a way so that the final result is not the focal point of your convincing statement. Rather, it is proof of what you know and what you can do for people, right? And so just that small switch there does become very helpful. And it also, broadly speaking, it takes you from trying to be the hero of the story to making it more about your audience. And, admittedly, like it's a little bit more of a middle ground because you are swooping in to save the day, but the story still revolves around your client and your audience. And so they are the hero. You are coming in to help them, and you are doing, and the way that you convince them to let you help them is by demonstrating that experience and that knowledge and that proof, right? So a small wrinkle there to the overall story arc and the hero journey and all that kind of stuff, but hopefully it does resonate and makes a little bit of sense with you. But if you've had some of those experiences and you've seen some of those salespeople, would love to hear those stories and the kinds of pitches that they did. And look, I'm not saying don't work with them. Maybe they are legitimate, but like they just don't make a convincing argument for me. I resonate more with the people that can truly demonstrate knowledge and expertise and not just rest on the results that they've gotten in the past, right? Because I know, that we think that our situation is completely unique and that what works for one other business probably isn't going to work for ours. So I need to be convinced a little bit more that it'll work for ours. So something just interesting, different to think about this week, but that's going to do it for us today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.